Hey everyone, Frank Menard here from the Menard Team Coaching and Training powered by the Napoleon Hill Institute. So I just want to say welcome this week. In this week's video, I am going to speak with you about fear. In fact, in Napoleon's book, Think and Grow Rich, he talks about 6 basic fears. And as I go through these fears, I'd like to ask you to ask yourself to take an inventory of how many of these fears are you suffering from that might be holding you back to live your dream life, the life that you've always wanted to live? So, fear number one, the fear of poverty. The fear of poverty, this fear evolves around anxiety of not having enough money or other resources, leading to a scarcity mindset. So poverty, obviously, we immediately connect that to money. I think most of us in our minds. I don't have enough money. Where am I going to get the money to pay for this? Oh my goodness. I just went to the dentist today. Looks like I'm going to have a crown removed or replaced. That's going to be close to $2,000. Oftentimes our immediate thought goes to, how am I going to pay for this? And that's because we come from a position of scarcity. We don't think we have enough. I mean, I've got money in a savings account. I can take care of that bill, but what if? So fear of poverty is the most common fear that many of us have to deal with. And I think we need to work on changing that mindset. It's really not all about making more money or having more. It's realizing that if you plan properly, and if you do the right things, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that says if you simply just saved 10 cents out of a dollar, every dollar that you earn, you would eventually not have any problems whatsoever when it comes to financial needs, because you were doing the work ahead of time. So like many things, we can avoid some of our fears through preparation. The second fear is the fear of criticism. And I'm going to be authentic with you. Oftentimes in my life, I have not done things because I was afraid of what somebody might think about me or about what I did, or would have some type of negative feedback towards what I'm doing. And so how many of you suffer from the fear of criticism? Does criticism from other people stop you from doing the things that you know you're good at, that you're dedicated to give time to, but you're not doing it because of what other people might think? When I started down my road to being a personal development coach, I was called everything in the book. Oh, you're a life coach. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Oh, what are you doing that for? What other people think about you is none of your business. That was probably one of the most famous things or helpful things that I heard from one of my coaches. What other people think about you is none of your business. Pursue your dreams. Don't worry about what other people think. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the evidence to prove that what you're doing is not good. And by the way, if it's good for you, that's all that really matters. Helping others, that's a good thing. So fear of criticism is number 2 most common fear. How about the fear of ill health? Who has a family member that you can't even ask them how they're doing today, because the entire conversation from that point on is all about, oh, I've got this ailment, I've got this, I'm going to the doctor for that, I've got to take these medications, on and on and on. And say, hey, look, people have things that they're dealing with medically, and I'm not discounting that. But to focus the entire conversation for the rest of your life on all of your ailments, you're actually focusing on the negatives, the illness, and therefore it expands, because we know that what we focus on expands. So I had a recent bout, it's been about almost a year now. I think tomorrow I go for my annual checkup with vocal cord cancer. And one of the most important things that I tried to make sure in my mind, okay, I had cancer. I'm this C word. Oh my God, what am I going to do? But I continued to live my life daily just as I had always lived it prior to finding out I had cancer. I'd get up every morning. I'd go for an exercise run, go to the gym to work out. I'd eat the same foods I was already eating. Nothing I was doing was going to change because of this sudden diagnosis that I had. And I truly believe it's one of the reasons why I had none of the side effects that the doctors were telling me I was going to have from the treatment. So fear of illness can sometimes stop us, especially, I'm 68 years old. As we start to get older, different things start to happen. The people that I hang around with oftentimes when we're out to dinner or lunch or whatever it might be, a social event, all they're talking about are their ailments. Please focus on the positives. What's going good in your life, right? So fear of illness is one of the major fears that we need to be concerned and aware of. Fear of loss of love. Now, I think this can have a lot of different connotations. You know, not too many years ago, I lost my dad, I lost my mom. Obviously, there was some remorse that I had there. There were some feelings of sadness that I had to go through. I had a sister pass away many years ago in a car accident. You know, those things, you don't want to lose the people that are closest to you. But oftentimes we don't do things based on what members of our own family, their opinions, what they think about we're doing. And so we don't do it because we're afraid that if we do what we want to pursue, we might lose that person in our life. And while no one wants to lose someone who's important in your life, certainly not a family member, we can't let that fear stop us from pursuing what we know is our destiny. So, burning desire, there's something that you want to do. Don't not do it simply because a family member or someone in your inner circle gave you feedback that wasn't very encouraging, and because you don't want to hurt their feelings or you don't want to lose them as a friend or a family member in the relationships, you don't do it, right? Don't let that fear stop you. I always say to people, you know, I really appreciate your feedback and your opinion. I don't necessarily agree with you, so I'm going to continue to move on. I hope we can still be friends. We're still going to communicate. I think it's really important that we understand that we do have control over that. We get to take the action that's right for us. Fear of old age. Oh my goodness, I'm 68. I never thought I'd get to 68. Fear of old age can stop people from doing a lot of things. I can't remember which marathon it was that I was running, but it was many years ago. I was probably in my early 30s to mid 30s. And I got passed in the middle of the marathon by a gentleman who had to be at least 82 years old. Just went right past me. And I was going at a pretty good clip. I don't think the fear of old age was stopping that gentleman from doing what he was loving doing, getting out there and taking care of business, right? So just because we're getting old doesn't mean it's going to end. It doesn't mean that we have to stop. I actually recently, I was at a high school reunion this past weekend, and I ran across a woman who I remember from high school. Her name is Kim. And when I watch Kim on social media, mostly on Facebook, she is extremely active. Now, we're both in our late 60s. She's extremely active. She's skiing. She's surfboard paddling, whatever they call that thing now. She's surfing. I mean, she's just enjoying life. And we both had an opportunity to speak during the reunion about the things that we're doing because we watch each other on social media. And I actually said at the end of the night as we were leaving, I said, Kim, keep the body moving. And she said, you too, Frank. You know what? Just because we're getting older doesn't mean we have to stop doing the things that we enjoy. So don't focus on the age. The age isn't important. The life that you're living at that age is what's the most important thing. So just keep on moving. Keep on living life. It's all good. Don't be afraid. We're all going to get old. Can't do anything about it, so why worry about it? Which brings us to the final, number 6 of the fears, most powerful fears that we all face. And that is the fear of death. I got to be honest with you. Obviously, I had family members pass away, and that wasn't very enjoyable for me. You went through a tough experience in each one of the cases. Many of you have as well. But you know what? Again, we can't do anything about it. At some point, our ticket's going to get called. There's nothing we can do about it. The challenging part is we don't know when that day is going to be. I just heard recently, probably a couple of weeks ago, where someone I knew had passed away at age 40. I mean, who would even think that you're going to pass? And it wasn't like an accident or something, just passed away. We don't know when that ticket's going to get called. So why not live the life that we have to its fullest up until the day it gets called? So that, because let's face it, when we die, we're not going to know it. We're moved on. Maybe we will know it from a different plane. I don't know. I want, when I go, the people around me to literally have a celebration of life, to celebrate the life that I lived, not the fact that I had passed on, not have regret. Gee, too bad he didn't do all these other things he always wanted to do. Personal story. I remember for years, decades, my dad actually served in the Navy. Yes, I still love him. I'm a Marine. It's okay. Um, but he went to Turkey, he went to Greece during his time in the Navy, and he really enjoyed that. And I remember literally for decades him saying these words: I'm going to go back to Greece someday. I want to go back to Greece someday. I want to go back to Turkey someday. Unfortunately, my dad, at the age of 85, passed away and never went back to Greece, never went back to Turkey. I don't want to be that guy. I want to know that I took advantage of every opportunity that I had. And I encourage you to take every opportunity that you have to live the life that you want to live. So don't let one of the 6 basic fears stop you from doing what you know you want to do. Just to recap: the fear of poverty, number 1. Number 2, the fear of criticism. Number 3, the fear of ill health. Number 4, the fear of loss of love. Number 5, the fear of old age. And number 6, the fear of death. Please keep in mind, these fears should not stop you from living your best life. That's my message for this week. I know it's on a kind of a serious tone, but let's live the lives that we want to live and live it to its fullest until we're done. And at that point, people will celebrate the life that we lived. Hey, I hope this message gives you something to ponder on over the next week or so. Give some thought to which one of those fears is holding you back. Take control and don't let them hold you back anymore. Go do what it is you want to do. If you know somebody could use this message, please share it. Give me a like. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And please, I want to let you guys know, every Wednesday evening, I have a book study. It's a free book study, and we're studying Think and Grow Rich. Each week on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we actually have an hour discussion. Good group of people, could range anywhere from 10 to 15 people in every week's group. And we just kind of discuss some of the principles in the book, and we follow them in order as they're presented in the book. You can join at any time. It doesn't matter if you missed several, you haven't been to one yet. It doesn't really matter. Conversations are always good, so come on in. If you want to join me, I will include the link down below in the remarks section so that you can grab that link and you can join us. Again, it's on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you guys have a great week. Go after it. And as we say in the Marine Corps, get some. See you later, guys. Bye now.